is my why. North Dakota Carnivore changed my life. Kept it simple, stripped it down, turned it all the way around. Lost the weight, cleared my mind, left that old road far behind. What I found was something true, did it myself, and so can you. Carnivore, seeing it through, reversed it all, yeah, made it through. Let's stay together strong, me and you.
And good morning, because it is still morning, most of the places anyway. And welcome to a Memorial Day roundtable, if that's what we want to call it. I do have another stream here I need to get into to post the link. Give me just a moment. I'm just getting back from work, so it's been one of those mornings already where I still have work to do. Even on days like today, I still go in and I do my little thing there and hang out for a little bit, come home, and then I can do stuff like this. Let's see. And wait, did I go on the wrong one again? I don't know. That should be in both streams now. All right. So, how's everybody doing this morning? Oh, look. Brian's up and ready for this so early. You've been waiting for this, haven't you, Brian?
For weeks.
Weeks? Oh, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. John is here this morning. Aaron is here.
Very nice.
18
kind of been a busy morning.
Awesome. What was it?
What's crazy is the TV is off from the phone.
Yep.
So, yeah, pretty good morning.
Well, that's good. We have 18 Wheels of Carnivores here. Jeff is in the house. Jiffy is here. All right. Good morning to you all. Anybody else want to jump in the live stream? Go ahead and click on the link there and we can talk a little bit. So,
how's the fast doing?
Not too bad. Check this out. 64 hours and 10 minutes into it just before this year started this morning. So it's actually going pretty good. What was that, 53% completed according to that? And I was even able to make something for my wife for last night. That's chocolate ice cream. So homemade.
Very nice. How do you make do you use a chocolate protein to do that, or?
No, it's not coca, it's CACAO, cacao. It's unsweetened and it's just the chocolate powder. And then my wife has used allulose since we found it. Now the RX sugar allulose, when we first started getting that, she didn't have any reaction to it, nothing at all. They don't sell the RX sugar allulose anymore. Now they sell they call it a supercross. It's their allulose with dextrose. So it's got the other sugar blend into it. She's having reactions to that.
Really?
So last night she had the heavy cream, which she hasn't had reactions to. The chocolate, which she hadn't had any reactions to, because I made this without the allulose before, and she did just fine. Last night I put the allulose into it, and this morning she's got a rash on her arm, and it's just we're not going to be able to use the Supercross from RX Sugar because she has reactions to it.
Do you guys have a Kroger's there?
No,
I don't know
we
what
don't
they-
have.
Okay. Ours is at Dillon's, but they own like what, 10 or 15 different stores. We get their organic allulose. It doesn't have anything else in it, and I've never had any problem with it.
Yeah, when we first started using the RX Sugar allulose, and it was just that, she didn't have any problems.
Huh.
Now that they've mixed it with dextrose, now she has issues with it.
Yeah. I wonder
Which
why
is
they
not
would
good.
do that.
Well, it saves money because they're not making it just the RX Sugar version anymore. And now it's mixed with something else, so it's probably
Yeah.
more cost effective for them. Hey, good morning, Angie. Aaron says he can come in a few minutes. That's awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah, the ice cream. I made that for her last night, Angie, and I'm fasting, so I didn't get to have any of this. She ate the whole thing. That's only a pint of ice cream, but once it gets made, it actually fills up a bowl, which is pretty cool. Joanne, good
I
morning.
was talking to my wife about the ice cream, and we kind of thought about doing it and then put it in like a half pint jars in the freezer, and then just share it, because any more than that, I've got danger pants or disaster pants.
Right? Well, the one thing I do know is when you make like the Kiltz ice cream, if you throw it in the freezer, it gets really solid.
Okay.
So you have to let it thaw for just a little bit before you can actually use it. Hey, Uncle Willie's in the house too. How you doing, Uncle Willie? It's nice to see you here this morning. I see Angie says she can't use the erythritol for a sweetener. You get super sick. That's interesting because we haven't tried that. We thought maybe it was either the allulose, the Supercross that she's using, or it's the monk fruit. So, but she hasn't had the monk fruit sweetener, so the only thing she said different was that the allulose again.
Had some weird store news. Went to the Dillons here and went down the sardine aisle, and it looked like a bomb had went off. There was still a couple of things, but everything had clearance on it.
Really?
Marked as clearance, and I was going, huh? So I grabbed up what I could get and use for me, and we asked a clerk there that we know, and they said they don't know what's going on. And she said it's all over the store, and it's marked as clearance. So usually when they do that here, that's done. And it was the name brands, everything. So I don't know what they're up to.
It's never a good sign, is it?
No. Got a ton of meat on sale, though. That was a pretty good deal.
Well, that's good.
On clearance, so got it home and vacuum sealed it and froze it.
Well, it's awesome. As you're saying, lactose intolerance. No, my wife, she doesn't have any problems with the heavy cream or dairy and stuff like that. It's just we've narrowed it down to that sweetener, the RX Sugar, the Supercross now. They don't have just the regular allulose. Terry, I see you're trying to get in here, but I don't have a picture on here. I just have a black screen for where you're at. I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just don't have a picture.
It's a good thing I didn't say anything bad. So how
Right?
do I put a picture on now? Ah,
Oh, is your camera turned on?
okay, hang on. Bear with me. I'm not savvy on this stuff. And they
Yes.
always give us new iPads and computers, and I still don't know how to do it. Okay,
Right.
let's see.
And Joanne says, good morning, everyone, from Port Alberni, British Columbia, Canada. Good morning. How are you doing today? See, I've never tried the Keto Chow. The only thing I've tried from Keto Chow is their salty electrolytes. I haven't tried any of the other keto stuff. I never did keto before I went to the carnivore diet.
They had a sale on those, and I got my wife some, and I thought I'd try one and drank the whole thing, and I think we all know what happened there. So no more of that business.
Well, that's not a good thing when that happens, is it?
It was good though.
Yeah.
I think a half of one of those, but that's kind of defeating the purpose.
Uh-oh.
Can you see me now?
No, ma'am.
Terry, do you have a camera block on the where your camera is, where you can?
I'm going to troubleshoot. Let's see what I do now. I might cut everybody else off.
Morning, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going? Just
Good. How are you
finishing
doing
up some
today?
work. I'm good. I'm just finishing a little work.
Yeah,
But,
I
you
had to
know.
do that too.
Have you reviewed any new sardines?
I haven't done any new reviews. I just have been eating like the basic ones. I try to save some of my good ones for when I'm like doing a fast, just because I need something different to eat.
It makes a
Have
big
you,
difference when you have good tasting sardines when you're doing a fast.
100%. I like watching those, like the Jenny Minich doing the reviews of like the random cans. Yeah, some of those cheap cans, you can definitely tell the difference.
Oh yeah. I always tell everybody when they ask about it, I said sardines are something you get for what you paid, you know?
Yep.
But every once in a while you come along a crazy cheap one that's really good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of the cheaper ones that are fine. I don't mind at all, but for the most part, the cheap ones, they're the cheap ones for a reason.
Yeah.
I wish they would go on sale somewhere.
Mine keep on going off and on sale. They went up to $50 for 12 of them, and then they came back down and they were sold out right away again.
Yeah, we never have them on sale anywhere around here that I ever see. So I look for sales online, but you know, seems to be a shortage of sardines.
I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Okay, I found it.
Terry, that's kind of a theme, isn't it? Always pushing the wrong
man. Always pushing the wrong buttons. I walked into that one, yes. Well, good morning.
Good morning. So
In your location, it's good morning. It's good afternoon for me.
it is afternoon for you up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, what's everybody's plans for this holiday?
Blessings on your Memorial Day. I don't want to say happy. I got scared when Mitch said, "Don't say happy."
No, you
Blessings.
You get.
because you're celebrating the lives of the people we've lost.
Well, that's what I kind of figured too, but I was taken back, so I didn't know which way to address it then. I didn't want to go back and say, well, this is what I mean by happy. I mean, we're free in a way that, because of them, we're free. And because of, and Lance, of course, your Aaron, are you ex-military?
No, I am not.
No. Yeah. So, that's why we're, in a way we're celebrating, isn't it?
Yep.
If it wasn't for you guys,
And I do have friends that are no longer with us, so
yeah, it's sad.
family and
is.
friends.
Sad.
Shoot, all the way from World War II to Korea, Vietnam, and now the Middle East stuff going on.
Right?
Back again. Yes, back at it again. Yeah.
Wow.
My dad and mom were both happy accidents, and my grandparents, my grandpa on my dad's side was born in 1900, and my mom's dad was born in 1893. So, but just all the history there, and the family members and everything from World War II that were killed. So this is a happy thing. Don't ever apologize. And Lance's service and several of the other people. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed.
I wouldn't trade what I did or who I met for anything because it was a great time
No.
being in the military.
My son enjoyed it as well. He was honored to be part of the military until 2020 came along.
I even did some training with the Canadian forces when I was in Germany.
Oh, wow.
So I got to, for the first time in my life, I played broomball in Baden-Baden.
Baden-Baden.
Baden-Baden, Germany. There's a big Canadian base there.
Okay. Yeah.
And they invited, I was a military police, the Canadian military police invited the German, French, Canadian, and U.S. military police to come down and play.
Good. That's when we really had a good, strong outfit. Unfortunately, we're in a different situation today, but we're not going to talk about that. So I'm having a coffee. Anybody else is having a coffee?
I've had many coffees
I'll go
today.
with the morning.
I've already had my coffee. I'm on water now.
Yeah, well, I had one this morning, but I'm fasting today, so I'm doing the 24-hour rotation thingy. Yeah, I'm going to try
Isha,
that.
you can come into the stream too and talk to us.
I've had my coffee. I've had breakfast. I've had a little bit of everything so far.
I'm on 12 gallons.
Not
12
Courtney
gallons?
Luna. What's her name? Oh my, I keep forgetting her name.
Jenny Middich?
They were talking about coffee. Middich, yes. They were talking about coffee. Did anybody see that?
I watched that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So does anybody have their coffee after breakfast?
No, I usually have my coffee first because I don't always eat breakfast.
Me too.
Right.
I don't find that it affects me as much. I don't think I'm finding any difference. I got a good coffee going on, so I don't.
I might try it.
Yeah.
If I plan on having breakfast. Like I don't always plan that I'm going to have breakfast, so that's why I have coffee in the morning. But I suppose if there's a day I know I'm going to definitely want to eat breakfast, I'd probably try it, but I just never know that in enough advance.
It does curb my appetite, so it does extend me from eating too early.
Yep.
And that's why I have a cutoff of say around 10 or 11, because then I got to eat by 3. Other than that, I don't find I have any side effects from it, which is I guess
Same here. Same here. My first meal is the biggest one for me. That's where I try to get in the biggest meal, and then the second one is usually around 2 to 3, and that's all I do. But the coffee's never affected me.
No, me neither. Yeah.
I guess I can't confirm if it affects me or not, just because I drink it all the time. So if it is, it's not impacting me enough where it bothers me. I've tried going days without coffee, but I'm miserable.
You do the pot though, don't you, Aaron? You don't drink by cup.
I do both. Like when I'm working from home, I'll normally make a pot. But if I'm not, if I'm just like going to the office, I'll usually make a K-cup in the morning, and I'll use the flavored ones, the regular ones. It doesn't matter. But I'll usually have that, and I'm usually good. I usually only have that one until I leave work, because I'll either have some water or I will still drink my diet soda. But I used to take a big jug of my coffee, but now instead I fill that with water instead of coffee.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I can't say that I'm hooked on it. Like, I mean, I can take it or leave it. No, I'm not one of those that, oh my gosh, I got to have my coffee. So, but I do enjoy it if I'm sitting down talking or at a meeting. I might have that. So, yeah.
I like having the coffee first thing in the morning. It helps me, like now fasting, it helps me extend my fast. It makes a huge difference. And then when I get to work in the mornings, I actually make 2 pots of coffee, and they go into a carafe that we use for the office. So I generally don't have any coffee afternoon.
I generally have no coffee after midnight.
So
There's that between midnight and like 5 a.m.
Aaron, what time's your schedule? What time do you work?
I normally work 7 to 3. But now I umpire, so my schedule is all off too.
I used to work nights, and I did that for 27 years. So my sleep completely off and coffee's off. So I've never been affected.
I worked overnights when I switched to my new position. I worked overnights for probably like 4 years, and I loved it. They just got rid of doing overnights, so I had to switch to a day shift. So I had no other choice, but I would still work the overnights if I could. But yeah, the sleep was horrible. I do believe them when they say working overnights probably takes years off your life.
I'd rather work overnight.
I would as well. How many years is it really going to take off my life? Let's be honest.
Right?
I don't think I can do that again. I used to do it when I was in my early 20s. I used to work in a bar, but yeah, no, I can't do that now.
It would be much easier if I didn't have my dogs. That's the problem. Like when I would go to sleep, the dog would only want to sleep so long. So I like maybe got like 2 or 3 hours of sleep. And then later I got another 3 or 4 hours of sleep. So it was like really broken sleep. But as long as I was doing something, I was fine. If I got up, went out, did whatever, I was perfectly fine. But if I was just home, I'd be on the couch like trying to stay awake.
Something like I do now with my mom, because she doesn't like to sleep. She's wide awake, and I'm there on the couch, just like, oh goodness, if I fall asleep now and she walks away, I won't be happy. So
I would.
Do you guys have anything to say for Joanne's comment here about her sardine challenge and the scale? She says she honestly thought that the sardine challenge, her hume scale and band shows fat gain and lean mass down, even though good weight loss. So what does that mean?
Are you working out at all, Joanne? Like any resistance training or anything like that?
I mean, that's very possible. If you're just doing a sardine fast, like with no other, you're probably not getting enough protein. And if you're not working out, you are going to lose muscle.
Actually, I don't trust the scales to tell you.
I was just about to say, but I didn't know if I should say it. I've moved away from the scale.
I mean, yeah, trusting the scale is not always the best thing. Yeah. But
I look at the scale for weight, and that's about it. I see all the other stats that my scale gives me, and I don't believe it because it's not one of those things. If I had a DEXA scan, I could actually see that, I would trust much more than a scale.
I was about to say that I can't find anywhere around here that does a DEXA scan at a reasonable price, but if I go up to Toronto, I can get it for like $30. Wow. And it'll give you all the results. I mean, the cheapest one around me is
where?
Like where for what?
And I went across the border to get one from Canada into the States because I couldn't find anywhere that they did a DEXA.
Yeah, my buddy actually did it. He went to Toronto and got it done there. It was like $40. If you got like the $20 more version, you could have like a consultation with someone, but they just gave him the results. He just got it on his phone.
Okay, you're gonna have to share the details because I always go across to the States to get one because they wouldn't understand what I'm looking for.
Where are you from?
Weird. I'm in Canada, and I go to Toronto because we have an apartment up there. But I couldn't find anybody that was
Aaron, are you in Canada as well?
I think he's froze.
Oh,
Aaron's in New York. He's out by Buffalo.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He's a Sabres fan.
well, I saw the Bills thing, and as a Chiefs fan, I strongly disagree.
I did
Yeah.
my DEXA in Pittsburgh when we traveled there which was last year, actually. Yeah. But if there's someplace in Toronto, yeah, I mean, it's closer for sure.
One of those scans is probably 3 hours for me. I don't think there's one at all around here. And I don't know enough about the Yuma scan. I've heard people say that it's a good thing and it's close, and then I've heard other people say that it's completely off. So
I don't know.
You feel.
I was always, when I started, with the weight thing, I always started, getting on the scale, and since then I turned away from it, and I said, no, I can't trust that. And then I bought one other one that shows all the little,
There we are.
percentages and all that stuff. So I said,
Welcome
no, I
back,
don't think
Aaron.
I'm going to go with it.
Let's see, how do I? Did that show up?
What's that? You?
I just think I put something into a chat.
Okay. Yeah, you did. Look at that. Okay.
Yeah, that's where my buddy went. He just got the one to scan. He didn't meet and talk to anyone. He was more concerned about his. I mean, he's a much better in shape than myself. He worked out a lot.
Cool. Yeah.
But he wanted to get the the visceral fat percentages and see where his body fat and everything was.
Well, that's the one I would want.
Yep.
Because that's why I went in for the visceral. So, cool. Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. It's a 2-hour drive for me, so I'll do it eventually.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. You guys are all around the border. When you decide to do something like that to go across the border, do you have to go through all the rigmarole and passports and visas and all that? Because I'm nowhere near a border.
I have the enhanced license, so I just show my license.
No, I just
I haven't
show my
done anything, so
passport. I just show my passport when we're crossing over, and they ask you, basic questions. What's your reasoning for coming in? And if I'm going for the weekend, I'll just say, or if I'm going for a baseball game or hockey, I'll just say, oh, going to take in a game, and all good.
It's easier to get into the other country.
Yeah, I gotta say I haven't had any issues with crossing. So yeah.
I had a coworker come down from Canada last week, and she was concerned about crossing the border. And she said she got there, she showed her ID. They said, "What are you doing here?" She said she's coming to visit our plant. And like, "You work for them in Canada?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "All right, go." That was it. She was at the border for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to get offside topic, but it's just too much. People are just reading into it too much. Just go and experience it and do what you got to do. Don't.
Yeah.
I went to Canada. We helped a friend move from here to Portland, Maine, and we went up to Canada, New Brunswick. And on the crossing back then, I'm sure they still do, but Canada sold Cuban cigars. And I bought one and Will packed that sucker. And the guy said, "How much tobacco?" And I don't know if I was sweating, but my friend said, "I just got some cigarettes." And he said, "How many cases?" And she said, "No, I just need a pack." And he said, "All right, go through." I got through on it, and I went, "Oh man, I could have smuggled crates of them things."
Right?
Yep.
Well, luckily I don't smoke or drink, so we're safe.
Yeah, the limit that you can bring over a pretty good amount. Like you can bring like a case of wine. Like we used to do like wine tours, so you could bring like 1 or 2 cases of wine. That was fine.
Yeah,
I wasn't a smoker, so I don't know about the tobacco.
Yeah, I don't think they have any problem. And again, as long as you tell them what you have, and you just, that's what they're concerned about.
I like watching those like border TV shows, like Catch a Smuggler or whatever. Like you see the people that try getting over the border with like all this stuff, like replacing their gas tanks with like cocaine or something. They were funny.
I know. Yeah.
They get pretty informative. I'll give them that. If they had to spend all their time putting that towards a positive thing, they'd probably be billionaires.
Oh, wow, Joanne, that is expensive. Yeah. Guess you'll be going across the border.
Yeah,
Go to
I mean,
Seattle and get it done.
that's about what I have to spend around here for it. You know,
Yeah.
there's the one gym that offers it as part of like, hey, you know, come here for a consultation. You can get this included, but it's like $150 for the consultation. Then they're sitting there trying to sell you on the it's $300 a month for a membership. I'm like, okay, well, I can't join. Well, why not? Isn't your health important? I'm like, yeah, but so is my bank account.
Yeah, really.
That's a little ridiculous. $300 a month.
Yeah. And today it's even more important.
The closest place for me to get DEXA scan is it's a 2-hour drive from here. So
You're about the same.
Mm.
I like going up to Toronto, so I'll just make a trip out of it one day, go up.
A holiday out of it, or a weekend out of it. That's what we do. I mean, I'm due for my labs now, so I go across. I like it that we can just say, okay, here's the list of what I want. I order it. That we don't have that luxury here. That I can walk into a blood bank, a blood clinic, and say, this is what I'd like to have done, because it's just it's controlled in that. But and then the pricing is outrageous. But the fact that I can just go across and say, this is what I want, and I'll make an appointment while I'm there. So, and you walk in as well. You don't need an appointment. That's really good. Yeah. So.
You're talking on doing your fast.
you were breaking up, Brian. What was that?
How long are you doing your fast?
How long am I doing it?
Yeah.
I plan on doing it through Wednesday. 120 hours. And I have dental work done on Wednesday.
Oh. Have you noticed a change in your guys' teeth after you started carnivore?
Oh yeah, they're much cleaner all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And my gums don't bleed as much now.
Mine
And I'm
don't
not
bleed at all
concerned if I
anymore.
miss. And I'm concerned if I miss a cleaning. So, yeah, I find them really they're good. Even though my dentist keeps saying you got to come every 6 months. Yeah, okay, book it.
Good morning, Robin. How are you doing today? Do you guys know Carnivorous Grandma?
No.
I saw that he was on I think somebody's show, but I didn't catch the whole thing. I think it was Dave Mack, maybe, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. She's got a channel, Carnivorous Grandma, and she's got a meetup coming up here in Michigan in this summer too.
Oh, cool.
She interviewed me. Was it this last fall? So I've been on her channel. She does interviews. She's actually really good.
I got to go and see some other channels.
We lost Brian.
I keep marking down all the channels I need to catch up with.
It becomes
Yeah,
hard. It's like a second job trying to.
Yeah. It gets overwhelming seeing everybody's.
I'm trying to weed back on some of the channels. Like I'm kind of getting away from the channels that are more, I don't know if I'd call it attacking different like aspects of it, or like, that are kind of like hard nosed, like this is the one way to do it, or that have just become like really promoting, just nonstop promoting of, oh, you have to eat this ABC brand, or that's it. This is the only acceptable one. I don't know. I just like the normal everyday people. I don't need anything fancy. I like just real people. Real stuff.
I like the ones that just say, don't complicate it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't complicate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just put soup bones in now so I can make some broth. Do you guys use apple cider vinegar in your broth? Like, do you cook with that?
I use it on a spray when I'm doing my smoking the meat. I spritz stuff with it.
Yeah, I do that as well.
What's the purpose of sprucing the?
Keep it moist, so it doesn't
Okay.
dry out too much.
But does it get that tasty?
Not really.
Like a vinegary taste? Okay. That's the only reason I wasn't using it, because I figured it'll be like a vinegary taste, but I put it in today, so we'll see.
No, I mix it 50-50 with water, so it cuts it really good, and I haven't had any issues with the taste.
I've never actually even mixed it. I usually just spray it. I think that the acid would maybe help with the breakdown of the meat, maybe, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it helps. It helps, like a tenderizing. Yeah, something
Maybe.
like that. You say, yeah. So we'll see how
I just
goes.
did it because someone online said to do it, so I did it. And I'm like, okay, it works.
Do you add any vegetables to it, or just the bones, water, and apple cider? I'm
I'll
curious.
put veggies in there. I'll put different stuff. What I have.
I bought carrots and celery to go in there because I mean it's it makes the flavor too, right?
Yeah.
So I don't eat it. I just give it to mother then. But okay, good. Just want to make sure I'm on the right track here.
And I don't use any of the vegetables for anything right now. Last time I had something that had vegetables in it was for my granddaughter's birthday when we went out to eat. She wanted to go to a Mexican place, and we had fajitas, so I had the peppers and onions in my fajita meat. And I tried picking most of them out, and I thought I got most of them, but
TV.
It was a little sore the next day. Not too bad though. But I still have reactions to the vegetables. It doesn't work for me.
For all vegetables, or
so far, yeah. Seasonings, I can do most seasonings now, but even if I have too much black pepper, I can feel it.
I bought the white pepper now. It doesn't taste the same though, eh? Like
it's got a little different flavor to it, a little different spice.
So I might just move away from it altogether.
Yeah.
I had pistachios the other day, and when I woke up the next day, I could feel it all in my fingers, my hands. I could feel like the joints, just the inflammation from that. That's when I know I've ate something, because I can feel it in my hands first. And then once I didn't have them again, went away,
Yeah.
But that's always been one of my little treats that I like, but I'll cut those out for a while. But veggies, I haven't come across many veggies that I have had a negative reaction to. But I don't eat a wide variety of them right now. I keep it simple, onions, peppers for flavors, some broccoli or cauliflower, but nothing, an occasional carrot with a chicken wing, but otherwise I'm not really pushing it.
Yeah. Onions is my big thing. I really enjoy onions, raw and cooked.
Yeah. I mean, I need that stuff just to make it sustainable for me. I've given up millions of other things. So if it's slowing my results down, which right now it's not, and I don't know, I just got through that whatever plateau out of nowhere, and I just kept losing now. And so I might actually have to dial in and maybe start adding a little bit more stuff back, because I don't want to keep losing weight now.
Yeah, you look like you're shrinking there in your face.
Thank you. I need all new umpire gear. It's all too big.
That's not a bad thing, though.
That's a good thing.
It is, because it's not cheap.
Right. Now, Robin says that going to Mexican restaurants, you can ask them to prepare your fajita meal without vegetables. And she does that all the time. Yeah. Actually, my wife did that with hers. And I thought I ordered mine without it, but mine all came with it. So I just gave all mine to my wife. She still eats that stuff.
1 cup of vinegar in the bone broth, no vegetables, Oh, okay. Maybe that's probably what the apple cider does as well.
So there's a reason for it in there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Robin.
Yeah.
There's a link on there, Robin, if you want to pop on and say hi too. You can do that also. Same with you, T. You want to come in and say hi?
I am thinking of making a peanut butter and jelly meatball.
Peanut butter and jelly meatball.
Yep.
That would be interesting.
That-
You can see the peanut butter.
How would that? Yeah. How would that?
I would put peanut butter in with a couple other ingredients into the meat.
Yeah.
And then for the jelly part, I would take some probably like fresh raspberries or some fresh berries of some sort and either cook them down a little bit or just really like fine them and then mix that with a barbecue sauce. So the barbecue sauce will be a jelly and that'll be your peanut butter and jelly. I love experimenting with meatballs. I just love it.
Interesting. I have a batch in the freezer too. But mine are just.
How about putting
plain.
the jelly inside, like you would cheese, but make it jelly on the inside with the peanut butter in the meat itself?
Oh wow!
I think that would be more of something that would be easier for a stuffed burger, to be honest, for the size of the meatball. That might be a little bit rough, but I mean, hey, it's something to try.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. Just because I mix barbecue sauce in with meatballs, so I guess if I use the jelly and peanut butter all together, I could do that. I thought of it more of just like because I'll make a breakfast meatball with sausage and stuff in it, and then I'll make like a glaze, like cream cheese and a couple other things. It's pretty carnivore, maybe a little keto, but it's really good. It's like I'll put like some sugar-free maple syrup, just a little bit into the mixture just to get that maple flavor. And then you just drizzle that on top of the breakfast meatballs, and that turned out really well. I did that for Easter. Everyone really liked them.
I had a friend give me a pint of the fake peanut butter, and I couldn't do it. I looked at it and I said, I can't do it because I'm
peanut butter?
allergic to peanuts. They will kill me.
Oh, you like not the peanut butter, like the sunflower butters or stuff like that?
You go. Yeah, I couldn't. I looked at it. It looked just like the other stuff, and I couldn't do it. The last time I got into peanuts was at a Chinese restaurant, and it was just one bite, and I spit it out and spent about 7 hours in the emergency room. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, peanuts, peas, and lentils. They'll get me.
Lentils will get you too?
Yeah, they're all part of the same family.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to leave. We have.
All right, Terry.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
great
I'll be
week.
listening.
Bye.
I'll be listening.
All right.
See, I'm past like I don't want to do like fake stuff anymore when I'm having something. I've gotten now to the point where I can control myself. So if like I really want to try something, like coworker, she does a baking on the side. She has her own little business. So she brought in like these homemade brownies. So I'm like, if I'm going to have a brownie, I'd rather just have the real brownie, something I would enjoy instead of like a fake keto brownie that tastes like cardboard. But now I can have that one piece and be like, okay, that was good. Thank you. And I'm not going back for seconds or thirds. I mean, it'll spike my blood sugar a little bit higher than, eating something else, but it comes right back down now. And I just think that is, again, something for me that, keeps this easy for me to do. Not that I do that often. She doesn't bring it in often, but a little treat every once in a while.
I did absentmindedly the other day at work. Our safety guy, when we have meetings, he always brings lifesavers, the experiment, and he throws them all over the table.
Yep.
I popped one in my mouth, not thinking about it. And I was like, wow, that's not going to be good.
Can't just eat one.
No, you can't. I had 4, and it spiked my blood sugars. It's the first time in months that my blood sugar's been above 120.
So when your blood sugar goes up, how long do you find that it takes to get back down to normal right now?
They say it's supposed to be back down within 2 hours.
Yep.
Mine still takes longer than that. I still take probably 3 hours for it to come back down to normal. But it does come back down. It just it takes a while.
Well, yeah, that's where I was for a while. It would take forever to come back down. But now, like even, okay, so we have this place called Paula's Donuts. They're well known around here. Fresh donuts, they're huge. I'm like, when I say huge, I mean like you're not going to no Dunkin' Donuts. And the only one I ever eat there is it's a peanut cream, so it's a peanut donut with the angel cream. But they stuffed this thing, and we had donuts the one day. I'm like, you know what? Let's live life. So I ate it all throughout the day. I didn't eat it in one sitting. I probably had more sugar in that one donut than I've had in the last year, to be honest. It's just crazy, but that one really, like, my CGM's like, we can't go that high anymore. I'm sorry. Like, oh shoot. But within like 2 hours, back down to normal. Now, was that a good thing for me? No. Did it mess me up? Most likely. But I think I'm like happy now. I'm at the point where if everything comes back down to normal as it should, maybe it still spikes up too high. I'm looking forward to this doctor's appointment I have in a couple of weeks, just because this will be like the first appointment since I've got my A1C down to 5.4. I've gotten my weight down significantly. So I want to see if he'll stop weaning me off these meds. I really want to get off of them. I got off of them once, but my doctor just took me off cold turkey. And at that point, I wasn't ready. I didn't have the mental way to keep that lifestyle alive. So I hopefully, we'll reduce them. If he takes me off of them, that's great. But then I just have to keep an eye on that CGM just to see, like, hey, are the numbers creeping back up? Do I need the meds to help still?
Right.
Because I know like Dr. Bear's like, you successfully reversed your type 2 diabetes. Well, you don't really ever reverse it. I mean, if you go back to your old weight, you have it again within days. It's not something that can be reversed. It can be controlled, but it's that mental side in me that needs to control that.
Yeah. I want to bring this up here for Jeff. 68 hours and a fast. He stepped on a scale a little bit ago. He was down to 169. Congratulations on that.
But yeah,
you'd like to be below 160. Congratulations.
Good job, Jeff.
Way to go.
That's amazing. And you'll get there. And I look at Aaron. Aaron, how long did you hover around that 200 mark, and then all of a sudden you broke it? Now you're...
I was hovering around that, like, at first I was hovering between like that 205, 215 range for, till what, last, like November. And then I got to the 200 mark. And then now finally I've gotten like where it's like, okay, 170s, 180s, it's still fluctuating. I'm not worried about it. But I would rather be fluctuating between 170s and 180s than, 190s and 200s. And I actually got a good workout program starting now. So I know I'll gain more weight as I gain more muscle, which I'm fine with. It'll be the right way, but I still I have all this excess skin still. So like in my belly, like maybe one day I'll look into having that taken care of when I know I'm comfortably at a weight, and I'll maintain a weight.
Aaron, what did you start out as?
When I started this itself, I was at 236.
Okay.
And then years and years ago, I had weight loss surgery, but at that point I was well over the 300s.
Good job.
Yeah, I made my choice to do that, and then I fluctuated back and forth between, like, at my lowest after surgery, I got to 202, but then gained a bunch back. So I was at one point back up to like 260. And then now I've just been steadily, going the right way.
Have you been type 2 for a long time, or was that something recent?
No, that was, well before the weight loss surgery, probably in my early 20s. So like 20 years at least. But I wasn't good with wanting to always take my meds and stuff. So, and I didn't want to always like eat the right foods,
Your weight loss surgery, what was it? Was it the full one or a band, or?
It was the bypass. The band, I didn't want to do the band just because I knew people who had done it, and you can have that adjusted. And guess what? A milkshake will go through that nice and easy. And the sleeve was still relatively newer then still. Not newer, but like not being used as common. So insurance wouldn't even cover it for me. So I was able to do the bypass, and you know, I actually did a video about it, and, you know, people often ask me, like, was it worth it? And you're like, when I see other people are considering it, and, like, people are trying to give, you know, like, everyone gives their 2 cents on it. And I'm always more than happy to give people advice, you know, based off my experiences. But it's really like each individual has to do what's best for them. They can't worry about what you think, what I think. Like, it's your health. You got to take control of it. And it's a great tool. The problem was I didn't get to the root cause before I had it. If I would have had the root cause, maybe I didn't need it, or maybe I would have succeeded better with it and not gained the weight back.
I always look at it like the best, worst decision I ever made.
It saved my life. There's no doubt. I would have been dead by now. The way I was going, like, I don't think I would have been alive still.
Yeah, I was 700 when I did it, and I told my wife back then. I said I'm not going to be here in a couple of years. How things were going. So, but now, if I would have had the knowledge and the internet when I did it way back when, I would have done the carnivore before I would have did that. But
I would have definitely done that first. If I still needed to, then it's still there. The tool is still there. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, back when I had it, I mean, mine was what, 15 years ago. You know, there wasn't as much out there, so to say.
No.
Right.
No.
18 Wheels of Carnivore, how you doing today?
Woo! 18 Wheels of Carnivore here, coming to you from the great state of Texas. How y'all doing?
Doing
I'm
good.
Doing well.
Good. Yeah, I started a while back. There's a guy named Kevin Rutherford that I listened to, and he did a keto diet, and that's how it got me into it. And I started at 400 pounds. I'm down to 298 now, but I was up and down, trying to halfway do it. You know, for a long time, I'd like do everything correct through the week, then I drink beer on the weekend and just ruin it. But finally decided I'm just gonna quit that too. I don't need that. You know, it's bad, and I just got rid of it. So ever since I did that, I'm on the right track. You know, so and that's what I'm telling people now is you can't halfway do it. You gotta be. It's all or nothing. You know.
That makes a big difference when you give up drinking, especially all those empty calories that have no business being there.
Yeah. And it's, you know, a lot of times you go over to a friend's house here, you want a beer, this or that. Of course, it's like them, you know, you go to a birthday, you want a piece of cake. No, I don't, you know. And, you know, most of them don't understand. Well, you can just have a little piece. No, I can't have a little piece. You know, I'm good, you know. But everybody now leaves me alone because I've told them no so many times they don't want to ask me anymore, which is a good thing, you know.
Yeah, that's nice when they just say, "Oh, I assume you don't want any." I'm like, thank you.
I always felt bad for people that had people pushing them on the stuff. I never, luckily, since I started, and I was really sick when I started, that I didn't have anybody pushing me and pushing it on me. But I feel so bad. You see a lot of people in a lot of the other groups that we go to that have people just constantly getting drilled by other people, and I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
I just tell people there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we each have our own.
For you know, I mean.
Exactly. We each have our own way that we have to find to be able to do this, you know. And Aaron can have some veggies and stuff. I can't yet. Maybe someday I'll be able to. But I've hurt my body for 57 years before I started eating this way. I think the older that we are before we find this, the longer it takes us to heal.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I think I eat all the sardines now because I'm really just sick of ground beef, to be honest. And I made the other day. I'm like, oh, you know, I got some leftover bacon. Here's some ground beef. Here's some eggs. Put it together to make my beef butter bacon. I'm literally eating like 3 bites into it. I'm like, this doesn't taste good. I don't want it. I couldn't even I'm like, hot sauce maybe. Today I actually made some eggs with I'll put like just a little bit of cream cheese in it while it's cooking, just to make it a little creamier, just a little bit, change the flavor profile, and that helps. But oh my God, I was eating that. I'm like, I used to be able to eat that every day nonstop, beef, butter, bacon, egg, and I'm like, I don't want it.
Have you tried cottage cheese in your eggs?
I have not. I love cottage cheese. I'm kind of like Larry. If I have cottage cheese, I could easily eat that big tub in one sitting. So I
Me
try
too.
not to, because I don't want to spend the silly amount of money on like the real clean versions of it. I'm kind of cheap like that. Thus, I was originally the average carnivore guy. I'm cheap with what I buy. I did buy some cottage cheese. I was going to try making one of the, I don't remember who it was. I mean, there's so many people that sit there and make the same recipe. But like one of those like breads, like with the cottage cheese, or the cottage cheese crackers. But I never actually got around to doing it. But I will make, when I make a frittata, I will mix that in with like the veggies, the egg, and everything. But I've just never sat there and scrambled them with them.
I've done that a couple times for my wife. She actually likes it. Makes them a little fluffier, she says.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I use them for when I make a frittata. So I don't see why it'd be any different than when I'm just scrambling them.
Over the Super Bowl, me and my wife made chaffles, and we used cottage cheese and several other things, and then the cheese, we made little pizzas.
Nice.
And yeah, it was for a while, but all the milk products did me in. So I've been kind of shying away from that. I still get into the heavy cream and the iced coffees, but that's pretty much it. Like you said, Lance, adding stuff back and everything. I can do onions and garlic, but if I get into anything else, my stomach, and the next day they let me know it.
Yeah. Well, even having pepper jack cheese, the peppers in the pepper jack cheese affect me.
Huh.
I have never liked pepper jack cheese. I love peppers. I love spicy stuff. I just cannot stand pepper jack cheese. I don't know why.
I don't know. I like pepper jack cheese, but it's not liking me since I cut it out and then tried it back now. It doesn't really care.
That's how I am with Gouda now. I used to love Gouda, but it just doesn't react with me as well. So I still have it on occasion. Like I used to have Gouda all the time, but now it's like if I'm making a burger, I'll use like a Gouda every once in a while. But I noticed like I didn't have great reactions to Gouda.
Oh. I have a friend who's a smoker, and we would take and visit him and bring pounds of cheese and have him smoke it.
My smoker apparently won't get cold enough to do it. The lowest temperature doesn't get cold enough to smoke cheese.
Get a smoking tube.
Smoking tube.
Just a tube you put pellets in, and you put that on the opposite side, and you let the smoke go across the cheese. Some of the tubes are big enough to last like 2.5 to 3 hours, and that's enough to get the smoke flavor into the cheese really good.
I love a good smoked cheese.
I saw an interesting smoker. It breaks down into it looked like one of those Coleman stoves, and it breaks down. And then the guy took a cold smoker and attached a tube and then drilled a hole in that side of that thing. And he was cold smoking salmon. It just looked wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I have a little trick about smoking. I do a lot of competition cooking, and I have sold barbecue too. I drive truck, for my real job. But if you're cooking any kind of pork and you don't want to put sugar on it, because a lot of your seasonings that you put on there has sugar in it, and I make my own seasonings for that reason. And I was trying to figure out a way to get a bark on pork butt or ribs or anything in pork, because it won't get a bark without the sugar on pork, really. Beef will, and that's what I was thinking. Well, I don't put sugar on my briskets, and they get a great bark. So I took tallow and mixed it up, put a little bit of butter in there, and melted it, mixed it up, and I just dabbed, put the tallow on the pork butt. It come out beautiful, great bark. It barked up real pretty, And I'm like, man, that's wonderful. And it was awesome. It tasted awesome. It was great.
I'm gonna have to remember that.
Have you guys ever used allulose in your barbecue stuff on when you're smoking or anything?
Never thought of it.
I've only used allulose once for something, and I did not like it.
Huh.
I did not like the sweetness from it. I believe it was it or this or the. There was something about it I didn't like. Now maybe it was what I used it for in a recipe, but I was not a fan of it.
Yeah, it does have kind of an aftertaste, so.
Like I don't like ghee. Not a fan of cooking
Oh,
with
really?
ghee. I hear people use ghee all the time. I've never been able to like it. I don't know what I would use it in now to enjoy it, but
Have you ever made your own?
Say that again, Brian?
Aaron, have you ever made your own ghee?
no.
Because the stuff that I've made before, I liked it a lot better than the store stuff, but I also wasn't buying the most expensive store ghee.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably not buying the most expensive thing you could buy, but it wasn't cheap, but I'm sure it wasn't the quality, but I don't know. I don't even know how to make it, to be honest.
It's pretty easy. You can get it in the stove and put it in a dish, and then just every once in a while scrape off the cream solids off the top until you get them all out. And I like that one a lot better than the store one I had.
Yeah.
How long will that last you?
Once you get the solids out and stuff, I've seen people can it, but I don't know about that. But you keep it I keep mine in the refrigerator, and I've never had it go bad, and I've had it in there for a while. So, but I don't know the exact time. I mean, you're going to have to ask somebody on that one, because anything with milk solids after a long time,
But you're taking the milk solids out of the ghee, so ghee is actually shelf stable once you remove the solids from it. So it lasts for months. So.
And I'm sure there's no time limit on it if you've got if you can it, but I don't know for sure.
I don't think it lasts that long.
Yeah, I've had to cut back on using, like, I used to love using bacon grease, but I've had to cut back on that with my stomach. I don't know if it's just, the way I would absorb everything after the surgery, but it just, I don't know, for some reason it wasn't sitting as well. So I've definitely cut back on using that when I'm cooking. I'll use a little bit, but not like I used to. I just mainly use a lot of butter now when I cook. Sometimes I'll use a little olive oil on something, even though I know it's not good for you. But I will use a little of that or avocado oil. But again, it's just, what works for what I'm cooking.
You see all this stuff Joanne's making with cottage cheese, wraps, donuts, ice cream, herb and garlic cream cheese.
Well, when's she coming over to make it?
Right?
Well, I told Anna she needs to get a cookbook. I was looking, she shows a lot of her stuff on Larry's, and it's just brilliant. And then I have her in another group and stuff, and she needs to, and I know you're listening, you need to get a cookbook going, because your stuff's original, and the stuff that you've adapted to work is just, it looks wonderful. I could live nowhere near her. I know that it's good for you, but not in crates of it. That's how good it looked.
Does she have a channel with stuff that she makes, or?
I think she's just on Facebook, but
okay.
Anna, if you're listening, let us know. She was making cheese and cottage cheese too. I know that.
Yeah.
Certain things I just don't have the patience for. Like, I know it's not hard to make things like cottage cheese or ricotta. I just don't have the patience.
I
used
either.
To, at my job, I used to, part of my responsibilities was I cooked, and I cooked for 7 people plus staff, and I used to love to cook. But when I got sick, that kind of knocked all that out. And then the carnivore, if you keep it simple on the carnivore, you're not working that hard in the kitchen, Yeah, it's just
true.
washing and stuff. But yeah, there's just a ton of stuff to do. I had
All
a
right,
question for Aaron. How's your classes going?
I just started them. So I just finished the first module. That was fine. My problem right now is just with the umpiring, like I want to like do a module. I want to sit and do it. I don't want to be like starting and stopping. Just with
Yeah.
my work schedule, then that I probably didn't pick the best time of year to start doing it, to be honest. But no, it's going good. Everyone's really great. Like anyone I've asked questions to and stuff. Or the Dr. Nelson does his things on Wednesdays, I think.
right.
Yeah.
That's kind of rough for me that time that he does that at, just because I'm just getting out of work. So I'll probably like listen in when he starts them back up. I don't know, was he doing it this week? But I'll probably at least be listening in the car, as he's doing them. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
I got my confirmation email that I had made it through today. I knew that I passed,
Congratulations.
but yeah, so I was excited about that.
I really want to go on Saturday to Albany, but it's a big tournament weekend for us. So it's like, I'm kind of torn. And my daughter's got a tournament as well. So I don't know if I am going to skip out on that Saturday for her. So,
Boy, if you're up there and then Chicago and Florida, that opens up the world of going to those events.
yeah,
Not
Albany's
too
only like
bad.
5 hours from me. So it's not that
Yeah.
bad.
Lance, have you ever had a meet up there in North Dakota?
Nope. Nothing here.
Have you ever thought about getting one started?
I've thought about it. I don't know where we would do anything like that around here right now.
Lance, I would not be able to attend. I'm sorry. That's just a little too far.
Really, Aaron?
Hey, I've only been to North Dakota and South Dakota once in my life, and it was the worst experience ever. No offense. We drove there, and there was a wedding, and literally we stayed in one time zone, and the wedding was in another time zone. And then the people we drove with said, "Hey, let's go to the Badlands." We're like, "Can we just go home? I'm really sick. I got sick while we were there." And I'm like, "I just want to go home." Like, no, we want to show you the Badlands. I'm like, okay. Well, we went to the Badlands, and our van slid down the side of a mudslide. So we got stuck there for like 8 hours. So then we're finally on our way back home, and driving through Chicago, we blew a tire. At that point, I said, forget it. I went to the airport and got a plane ticket. I'm like, this is just ridiculous.
I'm with you on that one. And Joanne says she does not have a YouTube channel, just Facebook, and sometimes things end up on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to find her on Facebook.
Boy, Chicago. We went through there when we were little kids in 76, and Dad had to pull off and get gas, and we got going again, and within 2 seconds we were lost, and it was pretty rough. And the cop pulled us over and said, "Okay, here's how you need to go now."
Right?
I was in Chicago later in life, and I really loved the city. I thought like much cleaner version than New York City. So I really liked Chicago. I had a lot of fun there.
We, when I told you we helped a friend move to Maine, we were coming back through, and it was probably 2 a.m. on, I think it's Interstate 80, and a white Mercedes-Benz pulled up with us and slowed down. And my friend said, "We need to get something to eat." And I said, "You're not stopping for anything." And I looked over, and the 2 guys in it were staring at us, and they were completely covered in gold and red. And I went, "Nope, we're not stopping here."
I'll tell you, Maine was like one of my favorite vacations we ever did that did not include any amusement parks. We had so much fun in Maine.
Yeah.
Lobster right off the boat. We literally went, caught lobster, got off the boat, went into the restaurant. Oh, could never eat lobster anywhere else again.
If I could afford to live there, I'd be there in a second.
I thought it was going to be like cheaper to get lobster there than like here, just because, it's more abundant, but it wasn't. It was just as expensive, but the quality was like,
yeah.
I could never eat a red lobster again in my life.
All right. Well, hey guys, it's been just over an hour now, and we got to run up north to my family, so
yep.
I'm gonna let you all go. Thank you for stopping in,
Thank
Again,
you.
Rick
Jeff.
just showed up. Have a great day, Rick. You guys have a great day. Thank you for coming in here. And that's all. Just eat meat and be happy.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks.
Have a good one.